is Tim Cole from the Department of Biochemistry within the School of Biomedical Science, and I'm the convener of the honours course for BMS students. So as third years, you all have the opportunity to extend your course into a fourth year, and that is to undertake an honours year. So today I want to just give you some information on the course structure and things that you need to think about in relation to making that decision. And that is to do with, as you'll see in a minute, it's very much focused on undertaking a research project. So you need to decide where you want to undertake that project, in what area. You know, is it going to be basic science, clinical research, or something in between? And as you'll see, there are lots of different departments, schools, campuses that you can do the project, and you need to make a decision whether the honours year is for you and to understand what exactly you'll get out of it. All right? So what we're going to do, I've got slides and I'll talk for about 20 minutes, and then we'll go over to the ground floor of building 76-77, where honours coordinators from the different departments and schools are over there with their project booklets. We've got some food for you, and you can go over and chat to them. I'll be there as well, and we can answer some questions. And then, of course, you've got to come back here for a lecture at 5. Is that right? It's in here, I think, as well. Yeah, or close by. All right, so honours in Bachelor of Biomedical Science. What is the BMS Honours year? All right, so it's the fourth year of your degree. You can extend it from a 3-year bachelor degree into a 4-year honours degree. And as I said, it's very much a research-focused year. So if we consider the assessments, 75% of the mark that we derive for your honours year will come from your research project, and 25% will come from coursework that you will undertake, as we'll see in a minute, primarily in semester 1 next year. And as you'll see, the coursework, or part of that coursework, will vary depending on where you're located, in which department or school that you're undertaking your course. The overall aim of the honours year is to further extend and fine-tune your knowledge and abilities in the biomedical sciences, and it's aimed at understanding and being critical about scientific data and literature and communication. And we really think these are generic skills, right? So being able to critically analyse data, a body of information, communicate clearly, write clearly. These are skills that you can take into any type of job or vocation from your basic degree, or particularly from your honours degree. All right, so, and these are the skills that we will be helping to improve you at, and obviously the assessments will be built around these types of exercises. The research project that you undertake, as you'll see, will be individual, so you'll be embedded and part of a research group in a department or a school, undertaking a specific project that essentially it should be original research. So the information and data that you will collect hasn't been done anywhere in the world, and you should be able to publish that, or perhaps be part of a publication in an original scientific and or medical journal. Right, so each student's experience in honours will be very, very unique and very specific. So why should you do a BMS Honours year? I've kind of alluded to that already. It'll further improve and develop your personal and professional skills. Right, you'll certainly improve your organisational skills, your analytical skills, your scientific skills. If you're doing a lab-based project, you'll get technical skills in being able to perform experiments, use very complicated machinery and systems. It then allows you to move into different pathways. It's certainly in Australia the entry point into further research degrees, such as a master's or a PhD. So if you really enjoyed scientific research in a laboratory or at a hospital doing clinical research, you can continue that doing a higher degree, such as a PhD. But the extra year, and particularly if you get good marks, it can add to your GPA, it'll enhance your chances of getting into postgraduate or post-bachelor type courses such as graduate medicine, where we know that a lot of you are interested in perhaps doing a graduate medical degree somewhere. And certainly that's possible at Monash. And the honours degree will enhance that possibility as well. And as I said, in the context of the research degree, it allows you to evaluate whether biomedical research is a career path you'd like to follow in the future, in perhaps a range of different ways. All right, so the honours course is shown here. So this indicates the types of assessments and activities that you'll do during the year. So as I said, the research project component forms 75% of the assessment of the year. So it's essentially a 36-point unit. It has 4 activities, 3 of them are assessed, and these are based around your research project. The first thing that you do in semester 1 is to write a literature review of around 4,000 words, and that's based around your particular research topic. And your supervisor and lab will help you write that, and that's assessed within your local area, your department or school. You'll then do a kind of a similar oral type exercise in presenting a 10-minute seminar on the background of your project and what your project outline will be for the year. And that's a 10-minute talk with questions, and there's no numerical assessment, but we obviously give you feedback on how the presentation, the clarity, communication skills, ability to answer questions, etc. And then at the end of the year, you'll write a research report, a thesis on your project, and give a final seminar to the rest of the class and normally to the rest of the department on the outcomes of your project. That's the so-called seminar too. So these contribute 10%, 10%, 80% of this 36-point unit. The coursework unit is a 12-point unit. It contributes 25% of your overall mark and is composed of 3 assessments. There are 2 common assessments that all the students will do together out here at Clayton. The first one is we give you 6 biostatistics workshops over 6 weeks, and this is assessed by an assignment, and this is to add and improve your abilities to analyse data using biostatistical methods and obviously software programs. Okay, but this is very important in being able to analyse your data to make sure that you're interpreting the results or the outcomes of your experiments appropriately, and that again allows you to publish that data in scientific journals. That contributes 30% of this unit. There's a common core written critique exercise where we ask you to read a scientific paper, pull it apart, answer some questions on and critically analyse a published article. And you do that, it's a 4-hour exam that you do all together towards the end of semester 1, and that contributes 30%. And the final component is what we call a discipline-specific component that is dealt with by your department or school, and that's normally 2 other assessments. It might be a journal club, so a presentation of a paper, another exam on a specific topic within that discipline, or analysis of seminars, or going to a talk and then writing a summary. So this discipline-specific component varies across the faculty, and that just depends what department or school that you're based in. And that contributes 40% of this coursework component. And then obviously that will contribute your overall mark. These are both full year units, so even though the coursework unit is completed in semester 1, we've had this question before, we really can't release the marks of this until the end of the year. Excuse me. Some students would like to know their mark because of applications. Excuse me. All right. Right, qualification for honours is as follows. You need to obviously be course completed for your 3-year degree, and then because it's quite a challenging year, we set the bar at a distinction average for a total of 24 points of your 3rd year, which is essentially half the number of points that you do in 3rd year. And operationally, this is normally your two 12-point core units, marks, or one core unit and two electives, which are both 6-point units. So you can do either. Obviously, you're selecting the best marks to get over that line. So this is an average. It's not, all of them don't have to be above 70, but as long as you average 70% for those units, you will qualify. All right? So, and we know most of you, you're pretty high-performing students, so most of you should be able to make that mark. All right, project selection. This is probably the most important thing because, as I said, you're embedded in a department or a school with a research group. You're working with them day in, day out. You know, it's like having a full-time job. You're there 5 days a week. And towards the end of the year, you'll be doing experiments into the evening and probably on the weekends as well to kind of finish off your project. So you have to decide what project you want to take. Do you want to work on perhaps a lab that works on cancer, neurobiology, a clinical project looking at clinical data, patient information. And as you'll see in a minute, the range is enormous across the entire medical faculty at Monash. You can find a project of an area that you're interested in, I'm sure. So you have to decide what interests you, and talking to your supervisor in the lab, you need to make a bit of a call on, you know, if your supervisor says, oh, your project is you're going to cure cancer and develop a drug in 9 months. Well, I can tell you that's probably not going to happen. Okay, so the project needs to be feasible and it needs to be organised such that you'll generate data that you can write a good story and thesis at the end of the year. So it needs to be feasible, and obviously the resources need to be there. Ethics, we obviously try and make sure that all the ethics requirements are all done before you start your project, particularly in doing applying for human ethics. That can take quite a while. And these are important so that you're able to hit the ground running in semester 1 with your project. Obviously, the important person in the lab is your supervisor. So this is your mentor. They're training you, showing you how to undertake research in its theoretical concepts. You might have a postdoc or a fellow in the lab that might be training you in the lab to do techniques, or in the hospital. But your supervisor really is the experienced research scientist or clinician who is teaching you about research. So find someone that you think will do a competent job, and obviously you need to have someone who you think you can get on with. It does happen occasionally where there's conflicts during the year, which is not a good thing. So we've got to get on with the supervisor when the pressure is on. Who else will be involved? Normally, we ask that there's a co-supervisor. Sometimes the supervisor can be away for extended periods. So if there's a co-supervisor in the group or in the department, they'll help you out as well. And obviously, talk to people in the lab. Who else is going to be involved? The environment. Does the laboratory look happy? And you know, you're quite within your rights to go and chat to other students in the group or other people who know what the research group is doing, and you can get a bit of an idea of finding a project that you like. See, we have a nice happy student here who has chosen a project and is happily working on the bench. Right, where can I do BMS Honours? And as we'll see in a minute, you can really choose an area across the Faculty of Medicine, Nursing and Health Sciences. So areas on the Clayton campus, out at AMREP in Prahran, at the Prahran campus, Monash Medical Centre in Clayton, and Department of General Practice at Notting Hill, which is up towards, I guess, the Bunnings area. I'm not actually sure where it is. It's up that way. And you can undertake an honours project in the Department of General Practice, obviously more of a clinical project. So there are a range of different schools, institutes, hospitals. I've got slides of each of these we'll have a look at in a minute. But you can range far and wide, and each of these places will have information sessions of the projects that they're offering. All right, so that information, we've got some of that information today over at Building 7776 and on these slides. So these slides we'll put up on Moodle. You can have a look at your leisure. All right, so the process, it's an online process that must be completed by Friday, November the 16th. So you've got plenty of time. We run this information session, so you've got plenty of time to find a supervisor and find a project. And once you've locked in a person, we ask that the supervisor, signs off that they'll take you. Yes, you can. Yes. Yep. The deadlines are similar. It's normally late May, early June, and the deadline for mid-year honours, again, we put that up on the website well before the deadline. Right. So certainly semester 2 honours is certainly possible. The numbers are usually pretty small. I think this semester we only had 5 students undertake BMS Honours starting at semester 2. Now, the coursework, we flip it around, so you do the coursework the following year. But I can talk to you about that perhaps a bit later. But it's certainly possible. It's offered. So we recommend that you go to as many department, school, institute information sessions to try and find a project and supervisor that you're happy with. All right, so, and it's really an agreement. So you go and talk to the supervisor in the lab and then you make an agreement. So we don't allocate projects. All right, so we feel that the best arrangement is where both student and supervisor are in agreement with your background and you're happy with their background and their project they offer. Obviously, you might call the most interesting and best projects, they will go quickly. Right? So the supervisor, once they've signed up 2 or 3 students, will probably say, sorry, I can't take any more students in my lab, so you'll have to look elsewhere. So kind of don't leave it too late into kind of mid-November, because it might take you a while to find a project that's still available. All right, and we've got information up on our website. Now the website, Honours website's undergoing a rebuild through the School of Biomedical Science, BDI, so just watch this space. We'll put updated information on your Common Core Moodle site, right, related to honours. But you should be able to go to the website pretty soon with an online portal that will take you to where you can upload your information and actually put in your application. So it'll be an online system. You've got to do it through this site, but you've also got to do it through the Monash enrolment site as well. But all the information's up, will be up on the website and on Moodle. All right, so where can you do honours? So I'll just quickly go through. I've got slides from the School of Biomedical Science, and you'll have had lectures from these departments and units. So the first one is Anatomy and Developmental Biology. So they obviously look at aspects of development, anatomy, regeneration, and you can kind of read the different areas. Rob De Matteo, who will be over at the tables, is the honours coordinator. Biochemistry, I'm the convener in biochemistry, as well as the BMS Honours Convenor. And I've got booklets, I've got project booklets. We've got nearly 60 laboratories offering projects, so there's a broad range of projects from cancer, cell signalling, neurobiology and immunology, stem cells, obesity. So you can have a look at those projects in the booklet. And I sent an email around. I've got an honours information session at a dinner tomorrow night that some of you might be going to. Honours in microbiology. John Boyce is the coordinator, Julian Rood the deputy, and they obviously look at aspects of viral pathogens, bacterial pathogens, interactions with the host, and understanding those interactions. So you can see the specific projects listed here. They've got an information session on Wednesday, August the 29th. Honours in pharmacology, obviously to do with drugs and drug receptor interactions and systems biology. And you can see the focus areas here. They've got an information session on September the 3rd. Physiology, they've got 3 people that are involved in the honours program, Roger, Si Chow and Nick Price, and I think Nick's going to be over there today with Roger. Aspects of systems, physiology and biology. They've got 2 sessions on the 21st and 24th of August, which is next week. The School of Clinical Sciences at Monash Medical Centre. You can see the research topics in here: inflammatory disease, cancer, neuroscience, infection. So you can see that they're quite broad, but the specific groups will have more specific projects. Large number of research groups and students. The Hudson Institute of Medical Research, again down at Monash Medical Centre, with a focus on reproductive health, cancer, endocrinology and metabolism, infectious disease, perinatal health at the Ritchie Centre. And I don't have their information session, but you should be able to find that out. The Central Clinical School at the Alfred Hospital in Paran. They have projects under the banner of Translational Research and Medicine, and in a whole range of different areas. And there's a number of institutes there that you can undertake on honours: the Baker IDI, Burnett, the Alfred, there's Monash University departments, and they've got three coordinators: Justin, Margaret and Valija. School of Public Health and Preventative Medicine is also out at the Alfred, so Alan Cheng and Joanne O'Toole, and you can see the different areas that they look at in the context of public health. ARMI, the Australian Regenerative Medicine Institute, is based here in Building 75 on the Clayton campus, and they have projects on the context of stem cells and regeneration. The Honours Coordinator is Jane McLaughlin. Honours in Psychological Sciences here at Monash, Clayton. Honours Coordinator is James Coxon, and obviously projects related to cognitive and neural development, and a whole range of neurodevelopmental conditions. Honours in the Department of General Practice. Chris Barton is the Honours Coordinator, and they have a focus on women's health, data and data linkage, vulnerable populations, and prevention and management of chronic disease. And finally, Honours in the School of Rural Health, looking at aspects of regional health, improving regional care, training doctors, enhancing knowledge in the community. And Shane Bullock is the Honours Coordinator. We have another person here who'll talk to you about projects in School of Rural Health. So that's a quick snapshot of the different areas where you can look for a project to undertake your honours year.